probably 2 a.m., and today's mystery begins with a murder called the director's suicide. Or is it? 8 p.m. The lights hit the stage. 150,000 live viewers are chanting for the show to begin. But at the front of the pack, the cameraman's face is draining of color.
Where is the director? He's crucial for the program.
Assistant director, it's room 606. I went to call him. I knocked, and then I heard it. A crash, like furniture being smashed. I called the front desk. We opened the door just a crack. And
what?
He's hanging there, spread like an eagle. Like a spider in a web. And the door. Director, the safety chain is on. We can't get in.
The sound of heavy footsteps run towards the elevators. The detectives swarmed. When they finally clipped the chain and burst in, the room was a tomb of silence. Director Chun was suspended, his feet barely touching the carpet. On his back, a red ink stain bloomed like a fresh wound.
Nobody move. Protect the scene.
Detective Young, a 4-star detective, stared at the body. He looked at the window. Locked. He looked at the door. Deadbolted. He looked at the clock.
Impossible. He was killed 5 minutes ago. We were all downstairs. Who could have done this?
In a quiet, sterile room, the hum of an air conditioner is heard. In the center of the storm stood Harold. He looked smaller than usual, his eyes wide with confusion. Detective Yang slammed a hand on the table.
Surveillance shows you entered his room at 7:20. You stayed for 20 minutes. What do you say, Harold?
I just wanted advice. Detective Yang. He was my idol. We talked about the history of mystery novels. He seemed fine when I left.
You left at 7:40. The murder happened at 8:05. The staff heard the struggle. Where were you at 8:05?
I was in the restaurant with Anna. Then we walked to the lobby. The cameras saw me. Everyone saw me. I was eating a croissant when my idol was. When the incident happened,
Detective Young paced like a caged tiger. The logic was a brick wall.
The door was chained from the inside. Only a ghost could leave that room and lock the chain behind them. If it wasn't you, then the director must have committed suicide. But there's no motive. Why would he kill his own character?
maybe he didn't kill himself. Detective, maybe the room just decided to stay shut.
The 2-hour mark hit. The buzzer sounded. The detectives had failed. The audience was in an uproar. In the commentary booth, the experts were silent. Then, Harold stood up. He wasn't shaking anymore.
You're all looking for a ghost.
What are you talking about?
7:20 p.m., room 606. The air in the luxury suite was thick with the scent of expensive cologne and a much cheaper threat. Director Chun, the legendary god of crime shows, didn't even look up from his notes when the door opened. "You're late with the tea, kid. Leave it by the door."
I didn't bring tea, Teacher-chan. I brought an ending.
Harold, you're one of the criminals for the show. The broadcast doesn't start for 40 minutes. What are you doing here?
Exactly. The show wants a simulated crime. But the other detectives, they're boring, teacher.
You want me to help you stage a locked room mystery? Kid, I've seen 300 of them. There's no trick I haven't seen.
Then let's make a new one. I'll bind you. I'll lock the door. If they find out how within 2 hours, you win, and I'm disqualified. If they fail, you've just helped create the only perfect crime in television history. Your legacy, Director Chen, etched in stone.
You've got guts? Fine. Show me what a nobody thinks is a perfect lockroom crime.
Director Chen didn't die at 8:05. He died the moment he agreed to play a game with me.
Harold walked to a replica of the hotel door.
You heard a crash at 8:05 and assumed it was a struggle, but it was just a potted plant on a timer. A simple vibration from an alarm clock I hid in the cabinet. I was already in the restaurant by then.
But the chain, how did you slide the metal latch into the groove from the hallway?
A rubber band, a piece of silk thread. I looped the thread around the latch, fed it through the door gap, and pulled. The latch slid home. Then, I snapped the thread and pulled it out. A 5-cent solution to a 5-star detective.
The room went cold. Detective Young looked at the body of Director Chun, who was now being untied. His face red with a mixture of fury and shame.
You see, Detective Yang, the mistake you made was thinking this was a crime of strength. It was a crime of ego. Director Chun stayed silent while you knocked because he thought he was part of a masterpiece. He didn't realize that in my story, the hero doesn't get to speak at the end.
Harold reached into his pocket and pulled out a tiny, broken piece of red silk thread. He dropped it on the floor.
Next time, Don't look for the monster. Look for the tailor.
And that's how the crime simulation of the director's suicide ended. Case closed.